Alright, and the race has begun. Let's get some hype and some good luck for both runners in chat as both of them start in. And so most people believe in a speedrun you would want to skip things like tutorial. With this route, we are actually doing the tutorial because there is a coin in the tutorial that you get to keep. And I'll talk about why that's important later. But both of them making it through as fast as they can. Orange getting a relatively good time. Cole lagging behind just a bit by having a bit of a hiccup at the start, but that's fine. Cole actually messing up one of the first tricks in the run, which is to hit the door and then pause, and then hit escape to map immediately. It's a bit of a thing that you can do where the game reads two inputs at once to make it through. And so he picks up the 3 coins, or both runners pick up the 3 coins. Good luck to me, yeah. Both runners pick up the 3 coins because we buy spread for this run, as it is one of the fastest items to get, or weapons to get, and as well as it being one of the strongest. For this first battle with the root pack, there's really nothing to say about it. You're basically just wanting to do as much damage as possible. No real fancy techniques, no real like phase skips, anything like that. You're basically just shooting them and hoping not to get hit. There are a couple places you can stand that minimize your chance of being hit, but really it's still up to the boss whether or not it's going to fire some stuff at you. Orange clearing him out pretty well. And going to be damage boosting through the beams to be able to get a faster kill. Managing to get a alright time. The Cole following swiftly behind. 47 is... it's alright, but usually you want to get like a 46. It's a pretty consistent time to get a 46, and so a lot of people try to go for it. Cole opting for the safety strats. Getting a 50, so taking that time to get the safety, but ensuring that he wouldn't get killed. The audio is now switched over to Orange's. And he didn't get the... you want, for Ribby and Croaks to get good RNG so that you can do a phase skip, you want to get the boss to do the flies attack first, because it's longer and usually always segues into the punching attack. Sadly, he was unable to get that, so he's going to have to get through this second phase attack. Cole did manage to get it, so this could be his chance to catch up some time. Now, Orange going for his first spin on the slot machine, and he got Lions, which to most people is probably one of the more annoying ones, but if you know what you're doing, get through it. Cole did not, in fact, get the phase skip, so he's actually going to be losing out on some time. Because overall he will have gone through 3 attacks, whereas Pudding only went through 2. Orange getting a seemingly pretty liable time. A 1:12 was pretty good, especially for not getting a phase skip. Cole trying to quickly finish down the slot machine as fast as he can. I think it pretty much is impossible to get a phase 1 kill, or to get a 1 cycle on the slot machine unless you're using weapon skip. But Cole's still managing to finish off the boss relatively quick. Now moving on to Ribby and Croaks. Not Ribby and Croaks, Goopy the Grande, sorry. Again, another boss that's pretty simple, that once you know what you're doing, you basically just have to mimic the boss's movements and just react to what it's doing. Orange opting to do some damage boosts. Getting low on health though, so he's got to be careful. Orange not getting the best Goopy, but still managing to get a pretty decent time overall. Cole close behind him, having to catch up. And yeah, as someone pointed out, the reason Cole is actually behind is because he had a relatively slower start compared to Orange. That's generally why there's a bit of a space between them right now. But anything can happen this early into the race. Cole opting for the damage boosts again. Not having more HP, so having to move so as to not get damaged. Orange starting up Hildeberg. Being a 45, which is alright. Being unable to do the damage boost on the tombstone really can affect your time a lot, especially in a race setting. Just tuned in, how long's a typical run? Usually between 35 to 40 minutes. Now, can Orange get the phase skip? And he does not, in fact. You did get a short phase, but usually if you time your damage enough and you maximize it as much as possible, you can get an entire phase skip so that you don't have to see her change at any of her clouds. Okay. Orange having to be careful, is only on 1 HP. Any of these stars or a misplaced laser beam can take him out. But he manages to clear it. Cole as well, not managing to get the phase skip. And getting a bit longer of a phase. Getting a 109, which is actually really good for Hildeberg. Usually you want to aim for a 1012 to 110. Was the weapon switch patched? Yes. To an extent in current patch, but you can still run the game in Legacy to get it. Cole moving on to the final phase of Hildeberg as Orange moves on to face Cagney Carnation. One of the first bosses where RNG becomes a really big factor. Cole getting a 116, which is alright, but yeah. RNG kind of messed him up, especially when he was unable to get that phase skip. But Orange taking a death just about entering the final phase of Cagney, so giving Cole the chance to really catch up on some time here. Though out of all the bosses in the game, Cagney is definitely one of the bosses that is very lenient on how much time you lose as far as dying. The only boss where you lose less time probably being Goopy. Like we said, there's a lot of race left, so anyone saying like someone is behind or something like that probably hasn't seen a Cuphead race before. Opting for more safety and clearing out all the random garbage. Having to be careful now. Orange getting a 45, which is pretty good. Ooh, mistiming their spacing on the dash and falling off. Cool, having to get a reset there. Orange now pulling solidly ahead and moving on to World 2. Opting not to grab the bombs, which has become a prevalent tactic nowadays, with many of the top runners now using it. Orange opting for a more unorthodox strategy for fighting Beppy's first phase to get more damage. He used to running Legacy. Yeah, there's definitely a difference between Legacy and current patch. The Cole finally getting their kill to move on. Orange not getting the best RNG for the second phase there, or the third phase with the horses. Usually you just want to get one green one, but you got a yellow and a green. Alright. Orange making quick work of this final phase, dropping down, just to be careful, but he still manages to get it. I think the Cole went for Baroness, which means he is actually going to be picking up the bombs in his run. As Pudding finishes against Beppy. Okay, now Orange moving on to fight against Jimmy. Cool, taking a death against the Cupcake. Cool, not having the greatest of races so far, but it's still anyone's game. Getting the Jawbreaker certainly does not help, as it is the slowest boss out of all the mini-bosses you can get. Its death animation can add about 3 to 5 seconds-ish by itself. He also was not able to get the fast kill animation on the Gumball machine. I'm opting to use the nuke against the coffin. Most people usually try to save it for the start of the puppet phase, but that's honestly personal preference. I don't think it makes much difference. As Cole finally moves on to the last phase of Baroness. Having to be careful though, because he has on 1 HP. And Cole managing to finish off that boss as Orange just about finish it. Oh no, he doesn't! One of the stray beams from the pyramid knocking him out before he can finish the kill onto Jimmy. So now he has to start all the way again. It's one thing to die on a boss, it's another thing to die at the end of the final phase, so that's very much a big time setback. And Cole moving on to now fight Jimmy himself. He picked up the bombs, so you'll see a little trick that he does with the pillars once he gets there. What are some of the major glitches in this game? Currently this is a non-glitched category, so you won't see any glitches, but some of the glitches are things like weapon swapping that increases your attack speed and other things like that, as well as like off-screen hitboxes and many other little tricks. Actually, Cole not opting to do the bomb technique. Usually what you would do is you would fire 4 times to just about break the block, and then you would fire a bomb, because the bomb deals flat, just straight damage, and so that over damage carries over to the actual boss. And this was discovered to save just a bit of extra time on this next phase. But since he did not do it, he has to fight the whole phase itself. Orange getting his second attempt at the final phase now. Orange finally finishing off the boss as Cole moves on to the puppet phase. Using the nuke here because the boss spawns immediately on top of it, so you can immediately get the hit. Orange getting a 131, which is actually pretty good. Usually, most people in this run with decent RNG finish with a 132 on the boss. And now Orange goes to fight Baroness. This is now Cole's turn to face the final phase of Jimmy, opting to not go for the in front, opting to instead play inside of the pyramids, and getting the kill. Getting a 141, which isn't the greatest, but again, you can see a lot of times Cole is playing very much safer strats, which is understandable. Doing riskier strats in a race setting can be very, very distracting and worrisome and stressful. Orange not, in fact, getting the quick kill on the gumball machine, so... Cole didn't do Beppy, Orange did, because they went two different routes. And you can see this is the standard strategy you would see most people doing for Beppy, except for the jump forward. Orange going for the kill. And Cole actually doing a reset here. Guessing he wasn't exactly happy with his first phase. And Orange finishing off the kill onto Baroness. And so he will move on to face Wally Warbles now, as Cole slowly but surely finishes Beppy. And Cole actually getting the good RNG for the course phase, so this will help him out in catching up to Orange. Alrighty, Cole making good work of the final phase there, as Orange makes his way through Wally's bullet hell phase. Actually getting a good placement for the body of it so that he can pick up the parry. Cole finishing off Beppy now, and he'll be able to move on to Wally as well. Now the good RNG would be if Wally went to the right here. Let's see if he's going to get it. And he in fact does. If he doesn't move to the right, he moves to the left, and to deal consistent damage, what you would have to do is you'd have to basically wedge yourself into the small bottom left corner, which really isn't safe, but it's optimal for if you want to go fast. And Orange getting a 108, which is alright. Cole hot in his heels, though, starting up Wally himself. Again, there are a lot of opportunities and a lot of difficult bosses up ahead that can easily trap players, so this race is far from set in stone. Right. And now for a lot of people, arguably casually as well as outside, some of the runners saying that this is their worst boss, Grim Matchstick. Interesting to see how he does. So on regular difficulty, his first attack is only ever going to be the eye lasers. And then it's just random depending on what else he does. One of the strategies for Grim Matchstick is to actually get a prolonged first phase so that the second phase goes faster. And Cole as well getting the good RNG for Wally Warbles. And getting a relatively quick knockout there. Good job to him. Okay. Moving on to the last phase now, which can definitely mess up a lot of runners. as the overall randomness of it can get to people. Cole didn't even get the heart attack. Yeah, depending on how many EXs you bring into the fight, you can just, like, DPS its way through. Orange close to finishing off Grim. Having to play it safe, though, because he is on 1 HP. And getting the knockout. And getting a bit of a screen glitch there, as you can see. When the thunder hits and you finish off the boss, it will just not know what to do with the color palette. So Orange getting a 128, which is... it's not the greatest. But again, he had to play it safe in that last phase, as well as not getting a fast phase 2, which is a trick you can do. Cole opting for the reset there, not happy with that. First phase taking 2 damage. But there's no glitch for an instant KO. Or at least any glitch that would be like that would be immediately noticeable if it was. Okay, Orange moving on to Baronet, or not Baroness, Rumor Honeybottom. And actually getting the good RNG for the security guard to move off the left side of the screen, because it's a lot faster. Because this next phase does not start until he's gone. But Orange has to be careful. If he deals too much damage to this phase, she will actually just completely skip doing a second attack, and will just entirely go into her plain phase. Let's not joke about people being disqualified, please. Now can Orange get the fast kill before the plane phase, and he manages to do it. For people wondering how that's possible, damage carries over through phases if enough is done. And so the trick is to get pretty much all of her health down for her second phase in the first attack, and in the second attack you carry over damage into her plane phase. No, you cannot see HP bars, but for the most part, most of the runners have spent enough time playing these bosses that they can tell how much damage is being done by how many cards they're getting. Like, certain phases you'll see, it's like, okay, this boss phase takes 3 cards of consistent damage before it switches, that kind of stuff. Otherwise, runners are completely blind to what's actually, how much damage they're doing. Yeah, eventually most of the runners have done these bosses so many times with so many hours of practice that they just know they're dealing certain amounts of damage by certain times. Cole now moving on to World 3 himself. So now he will get a chance to fight off against Honeybottom. Yeah, it's all muscle memory. Eventually you just get so used to running certain bosses, because I think someone asked a while back what the average was for a lot of runners in the community for how much time they've spent playing the game, and I think most people said they were about 100, 200 something. Cole getting a chance to get the fast RNG, but had to move due to the platform, so he was able to get that, so it's a bit slower. Overall getting the same RNG though for the attacks as Pudding. And Pudding getting a 105, it seems like, which is pretty good, especially... Or it would be good if it was for just the P-shooter, but the fact that he had bombs means that he lost out in a bit of time, since that boss is meant to be where you gain back a lot of the time you use to get the bombs. Now let's see if Cole will be able to get the fast phase, and he does it. Now Orange moving on to fight Sally. Sally arguably being one of, if not the easiest boss in the game, especially considering it's in World 3. Like, there's just really nothing to talk about with her other than you kind of just mirror what she does. That's about it. Really, the most complicated thing is just, like, spatial awareness. And by the time you get to be speedrunning at this point, you have to be aware of all that. And he actually manages to get a really good thing for that, as having the rats on the screen makes it a lot more difficult to deal fast damage in this phase. Who is ahead? Currently it's Orange, by one boss. Well, I say one boss, 1.5 at this point. Yeah. You have to remember, though, certain bosses can be extremely difficult, and some can be extremely short. And depending on which ones you die on, you can lose, like, different amounts of time. Like, losing on a boss like Briny Beard coming up, or even Goopy Legrande in the first phase, you'll lose maybe a max of, like, 30 seconds. Whereas if you die on a boss like King Dice, you'll lose up to 2 minutes. So a lot can happen in one boss fight, as Orange moves on to face up against Werner Werman. Cole opting to play it safe, not going for the damage boost through the gate, as some people do. And finally finishing him off. Is the fast kill not fish? I don't know if it is. Okay, that was terrifying. I don't know what that was. But regardless, you're not able to do it because this is glitchless. I feel like someone might have left their Twitch alerts on, but that's fine. Let's just ignore that and keep going. So Cole now moving on to face off against Sally Stageplay, and Orange finishing off against Werner Werman. Okay, it seems like they're putting the sound back up, so it seems like there was just a small issue they had to fix. Nah, it's fine. We don't know who it was, it's fine. Let's just ignore it. So, Orange now moving on to face Captain Briny Beard, which can be one of the most annoying bosses in the entire run. Simply due to the RNG element of it. Cole opting for safety here. Orange actually getting pretty good RNG. Cole going for the fast kill strat and missing it a bit. Yeah, sadly I was using a headphone, so yeah. Cole getting a 114, which again is alright overall, but generally you can be done faster. Now let's see what time Orange got on Briny. He actually got a 49, which is really good. Some of the best times you can get on Briny Beard are about 46-ish, and that's with pretty much perfect RNG. So that is a really good time there. Cole moving on to fight Werner, as Orange goes on to face Calamaria. Cole managing to get the fast phase 1. They get the video streams by doing what is called a restream, which is basically they just take the video of both people streaming, because both these people are already streaming, and they just put it into one, like, video format so that people can watch it. Okay, Orange making his way through Calamaria without too much issue, as Cole finishes off Werner. So the strategy for Calamaria is being right up in her face, because her stone gaze, as well as the little, like, death skulls that her hair fires out, actually don't hurt you or can't hit you when you're right up against her. Okay, Orange getting a 114 as Cole goes on to face up against Captain Brineybeard. Hopefully he'll get some good RNG. And now Orange gets to go face off against arguably one of the hardest bosses in the entire run for some runners. Fandom Express. Probably where a lot of people got stuck on their casual playthrough. Orange going for the riskier strat of playing much more up front, and then moving away when the little ghost guys appear. There was a death as well as Cole just generally playing, playing more safe. So that's why he's behind. As well as just general RNG shenanigans. Cole, I think, got a 2 cycle there? Could have been wrong. I had to look over towards Cole to see what he was doing. And Cole finishes off his boss while putting works on the twins. Opting not to do the scatter EXs, which a lot of people enjoy doing. Which makes that phase a lot slower. Or it makes it a lot faster, but in his case, since he's not doing them, it makes it slower. Seems like he's just collecting EXs to try to get a 1 cycle on this boss. Yeah, there was some... He also did a couple retries, that's why. Okay. Trying to get it. We'll see if he got it. He did not, sadly. Now he's just got to quietly finish it off, and there it goes. One of the EXs did not hit fully, so that's why he missed it. And Cole now going on to face Calamaria. Getting some pretty alright RNG so far. But generally still getting screwed over by the boss. Orange finishing off Phantom Express and moving on to Hell. Faced off against the last 2 bosses. The longest boss and one of the more difficult bosses in the game. Notably, King Dice and the Devil. Let's see if King Dice will be generous with the bonus HP, and... he in fact wasn't. So this could be bad. Cole getting frozen there, but not getting shot, so that's good. Cole again going for safety, clearing out all the eels. Getting frozen again, but again, all the eels being cleared out made it no issue for him. Okay, Orange making quick work of the second boss here. And it's done, as Cole finishes on Calamaria. And he'll be making his way to Phantom Express now. By the way, guys, I'm not too quiet, too loud. Is my microphone alright for the commentary? It's good? Okay. Alright, now Cole making his walk over to the train as Orange is now fighting Pip and Dot, as the mini-boss is called. Your commentary is fine. Volume is good. Alright, thank you. Well, I wasn't so much worried about the commentary, more of just the microphone, if it was too loud or too quiet. Cole opting for the riskier strategy here. A bit uncharacteristic from him, as he's been playing safe for the entire run. He must have seen that he was behind and needed to catch up a bit. That, or he is trying to get the... let's see if he can get the 2-cycle on the skeleton now. Oh, he's going for it. And he does not, sadly. As Orange moves on to fight the billiard ball. Could have more stand-up comedy. Well, so I have to be sitting down for this. My legs aren't that great, so... As Cole moves on to face the twins. Orange on 1 HP. He's got to be careful. If he dies on the King Dice fight itself, that can send him back upwards of 2 minutes. Yeah, sit down comedy. Yes, this is AB glitchless, so every boss glitchless. So Orange has to be careful here. Cole not opting to try to get the 1 cycle. And Orange... almost there. Orange manages to clear King Dice with no issue on 1 HP, as Cole finishes off the train. A 222 after having to play it safe on 1 HP. It's pretty alright. Cole trailing behind a bit. But still not fully out of this, as the devil has been known to screw people over a lot with some of its attacks. One attack in particular is infamous for ending many, many runs, for even some top runners. As Cole goes on to face King Dice. Let's see, the devil decides to be nice. Alright, so far so good. Doing one of his more annoying attacks. Missing the parry, actually, so that's not the greatest. And the goat. God. The devil can definitely be unforgiving, as Orange opting for a reset already. Ready, Cole. Making his way through the first mini-boss. Yeah, the current record is 32:51 without loads. Currently, this timing method is using is real time, so it does count in the loads. That's why the numbers are much higher. Cole getting through the first boss there relatively easily, and Orange taking a death. You can see him spinning his controller around, so he was probably already figured that he was going to lose that one. The infamous attack has still not revealed itself. The attack that shall not be named, and there it is. Commentator's curse. The attack that shall not be named has revealed itself, the pinwheel of death, and followed immediately by Spider. Orange, the devil is really just giving Orange the rope-a-dope right now. Not wanting to see Cole catch up in this race. Getting back-to-back the 2 worst attacks in the entire thing. Commentator's curse truly prevalent right there as Cole finishes off Pip and Dot. The devil still has some tricks up his sleeve, so this race still isn't done yet. Listen, sorry, I have to use my wizard powers to make the race a bit closer. I apologize. Cole moving on to fight the billiard ball. A great climb and then some. It's on. Orange not having too much issue with the second phase. And unless his computer explodes right now, and a knockout for Orange. Finishing off the devil with a final time of 39:46. Let's get some GGs in chat for him. After struggling through some of those bosses, he made it through. Alright, let's see if we can't get Puddingz in here. Alright, give me a moment. Go. Sent him a message to see if he wants an aftermatch interview. Cole still on pace to finish. Just has to finish off the King Dice now, and he does. Now all he has to do is get through the devil. He'll be good. Alrighty, so we're going to be getting an aftermatch interview with. Here we go.
Hello.
The person himself. Congrats, Orange, on the victory there.
Thanks, dude.
So when you got the two worst attacks there, I might have just said like, oh, the attack that shall not be named has not shown itself yet, and then you immediately got that one and Spider. So I apologize for that.
Yeah, the second time I died was kind of a meme because I thought he was gonna go back to his.
Oh, you thought he was done, and
so I
the
just jumped
last
into his
drop.
head. Yeah.
Well, yeah, congrats.
Thanks. Oh yeah. Also, that alert. I'm sorry about that.
Oh, that was you? Okay.
Yeah.
Nah, it's all good. It just took a
lot
lot of us by surprise, just because of like just how loud and sudden it was. But it was so alright.
Yeah.
So yeah, Cole, getting pretty close there. So while we're waiting for Cole to finish up, what would you say was your best and worst boss throughout the run?
Well, my best was definitely what's the pirate's name?
Oh, Briny Beard. Yeah,
Briny
you got
Beard,
what
yeah.
was it, like a 49 on that one?
Yeah, I golded that.
Yeah,
so.
That was really good. I think some of the best times for that one is like 46, so you were just slightly off with a bit of RNG.
My worst was probably Jimmy. Like, I kind of just like was an idiot and died at the very end of the fight because I didn't bother dodging. I thought he was just gonna die. So
yeah, I saw that. I was like, he probably figured that he was about like an inch of health off before he was gonna get that kill, and so he didn't move.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was still a really good run overall, especially towards the end when you started getting some pretty decent times.
Yeah.
Alrighty, Cole now finishing with a final time of 42:39. So let's see if we can't get him in here so we can talk with both of the runners.
Yeah, I tried so hard to get the one cycle trade, but
yeah, we saw that you were going for that, but one of the EXs just didn't connect.
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go. Sent him a message to see if he wants to participate in the aftermatch interview. But yeah, I think it was a really good run overall. It was pretty close, but then a couple of deaths over on Cole's side, as well as just some bad RNG that made him have to play a lot slower, put him behind.
People are following me, but little do they know I got rid of my desktop sound. So
yeah, they probably trying to get that. Okay, Cole said he's want to join an interview, so I just got to tell him.
Wait, did Cole PB?
I think he might have. We can ask him in just a moment here because he'll be joining the call. All right, there he is. There he is, Cole. GG.
Hi.
Good race.
Thanks. At least I'm out, but honor was.
It was still a good race.
My only concern was to leave the tournament with that decent run. I PB'd actually, so.
Oh, okay. That was going to be one of the questions because Orange pointed that out. He thought you PB'd, so it's good to know.
Yeah, I got sub 40 also, so all good.
Nice.
That's cool. I didn't on race. Actually, without all those deaths at the beginning. I mean, when the orange type done, I was at the middle of King Dice, so. Who knows?
Yeah, you still finished strong though. That's good.
Who knows? I had a terrible beginning, then more then I had a couple of troubles at Bepi and Dragon. I started over a couple of times each. Then the third island was good. Nothing else to say. A couple of goals. The third island was actually very good for me, at least, for my standard. For what someone would run to actually did the round. I believe this was my.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I believe that was my probably, I don't know, 7th or 8th run I finished in this category. So I couldn't practice, unfortunately. That's a bummer, but I'm still okay. I'm still pretty good. I'm still okay with this round. So.
Yeah.
No regrets. No regrets. GG to my opponents. Of course, he was obviously would have won, but
alrighty. So
I did my best.
Pudding, you're actually going to be going up against Jason now in the tournament. So how do you feel about that?
I'm a bit scared. That's pretty much all I have to say about that.
That's just all you have to say?
Yeah.
No, like, cheerful banter for going up against him?
No, I don't have anything. I don't really know him that well, so...
Alrighty. Cole, we've been asking this to basically everyone. Kind of become a meme at this point. What would you feel was your best and worst boss throughout the run?
Worst boss, probably the flower. I died in a very stupid way at the end. I basically lost control of my character, and I start missing all the inputs, every input, and I ended up basically suiciding for the spikes, and that's it. The best one, probably the bee. The bee was
yeah, you got a really good time on that one.
The bee was good. I got perfect RNG and and yeah, that was good actually. That was good. I think it was good on absolute, even on absolute terms.
Yeah,
I got the split, and the rest was okay for my standards. I still have lots to learn about this category. I have no experience at all, so.
Yeah, definitely some people coming into this tournament just kind of did it as a way to kind of push themselves to either learn a new category, get into speedrunning. So it's really nice for some people who overall just didn't have much experience to just come in and try their hand at it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I had no time to practice Cuphead because I thought I would have, but then other things happened. But yeah. I'm very happy about this round. That's nothing else I can say. Of course, it's not a great time on a but for me, if it's so far it's a PB, and you never refuse it. You're always going to pick PBs on race, which is also a plus. Yeah. And good luck for Orange for the rest of the tournament. And I believe we're going to do well too against Jason. It's not gonna be easy, but. You have to believe it. Yeah,
it'll definitely be an interesting match to see Orange versus Jason.
Yeah, definitely. I'm going to watch you. At this point, I am done with the tournament. I just come back as a simple spectator, and I believe it's fine. There are many better players than me, and so this is absolutely fair, and I'm okay. I hope I can do some commentaries here and there, but works and other things are giving me troubles lately. And
alrighty, so I think that's about. Oh, I was gonna say what the next match is for tomorrow. Tomorrow there was only one match scheduled so far, and that's gonna be Kaleva versus Williso in the upper bracket. So that's gonna be the last of the semifinals up there. And so the winner of that match will then fight me in the finals for winner's bracket. And that'll be happening at... Sorry, I closed it. It'll be happening at 12 PM tomorrow EDT. And as far as what channel that will be, we don't know yet so far, so you'll have to keep your ears peeled on that if you want to watch that match. And so again, that'll be the last semifinals match for the upper bracket before the finals for the upper bracket. And then afterwards is going to be the tournament final when the lower bracket finishes.
Yeah. So, can I just ask to Orange what is What in-game time did you get into this race?
I don't know. I closed out of my splits.
Oh.
It was probably like 30, like 7 or 8 or something.
Yeah, if you go to 39, it's generally like a minute or 2 minutes, 2 minutes and a half faster. So around
That the big initial
26,
death.
27.
Ah,
Mhm.
man,
Yeah, still pretty good times overall for everyone.
Yeah,
So, I don't think there's much else to really say unless you guys have anything you want to say to the audience. Oh yeah, thank you to Speed Gaming for hosting the tournament, and thank you to Buffalo Salmon, one of the our Salmon Buffalo, one of the moderators for Cuphead, that pretty much set up most, if not all, of the tournament. Yeah. So let's get some GGs in chat for those people. Again, let's get some GGs for the runners. Follow both the runners if you want to. And yeah, I think that's generally about it. Unless you guys have anything you want to say.
I don't have anything. So
I can only thank everybody for the tournament, for giving me the chance of competing at this tournament, and I'm looking forward for the next one at this point, and also looking forward to see how this tournament is going to end. And there are still a lot of great players in, and still a lot of great match to watch. So definitely looking forward to them.
Alrighty.
And yes, and that's it for me.
Alrighty, well, thank you both of you for the aftermatch interview. Appreciate it.
Thanks to you for the commentary, and
yeah.
bye to everyone.
We're pretty much done. So yeah, I hope everyone has a good night. Remember, the match is happening tomorrow. The schedule has been posted in chat for people that want to see all the timings and future matches. So yeah, everyone take care, have a good night, and yeah, all that good stuff.
Bye-bye.
See ya.